Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Chris Frates. Thank you for joining us, and a big thank you to our sponsor, ClassWallet, for making this conversation possible. And joining me now is the CEO of ClassWallet, Jamie Rosenberg. Jamie, welcome to Axios.
How you doing, Chris? Nice to meet you.
Thanks for coming. I'm really interested in talking with you because I think a lot of us know that government agencies have long struggled to distribute public funding. We're talking things like grants, subsidies, social benefits in ways that satisfy everybody. And I wonder, why is that?
It's been our experience that the agencies that have been delegated responsibility are actually doing the best they can. They're in an unenviable position where they have to please three different stakeholders whose interests may not be aligned. You have policymakers who develop the program who may not give clear guidance to these agencies and may not be sensitive to the complexities of implementing that program. You've got the beneficiaries of the program who want immediate access to the funds or the benefits of it. And you have generally the public that demands transparency and needs to know how every single penny is spent. And in the middle of those three parties is this agency with the responsibility to distribute those funds. And they're trying to make everyone happy, and it's impossible. It's impossible to make everyone happy. And unfortunately, many times, nobody is happy. That's what's happening.
And it sounds like a recipe for inefficiency, for red tape. I mean, what has been your experience? What kind of red tape have you seen in these programs over the years?
Really, where bureaucracy and red tape come from is the agency's priority, which is valid, to ensure the funds are spent as intended, to manage the spend compliance of those public funds. And what's happening is those agencies don't have adequate financial technology to do that. So they're relying on processes like reimbursement or modules in their accounting software that might not be designed for this complex problem. And that inefficiency of ensuring the compliance that the money is spent as intended, that's what's driving the inefficiencies. That's what's happening.
So how do those inefficiencies and those challenges impact the program outcomes? Because that's what everybody is worried about, right? And is how is the program performing?
The best way to answer that is maybe by illustration. So let's take early child care subsidies, right? These subsidies are designed for families to bring their children to early child care providers. The agency has to make sure that that child, in fact, was in attendance or received a service from that provider. So what happens is the family takes the child, the provider then has to submit paperwork and may have to wait 7 weeks, 10 weeks, or 12 weeks to get reimbursed. The fallout of that is only a handful, certain number of providers can actually afford to go out of pocket 7, 10, 12 weeks before getting paid for the service they're providing. And so that reimbursement process, that process of ensuring the funds get spent as intended, actually disenfranchises a lot of other providers who can provide the service to that family, but cannot afford to go out of pocket for that long. So families are left with less choice. There's less options. There's less providers participating in the program because only those that can afford this process in which the agency is using to manage compliance ultimately participate. And the result is just an inverse, is really undermining the outcome of the program. That's what's happening.
So less choice, fewer options, certainly not ideal to getting good outcomes. And I wonder, how does digital wallet technology help solve for these problems, Jamie?
Digital wallet technology has already made a profound impact for dozens and dozens of public funding programs, improving efficiencies and improving outcomes and reducing costs. What a digital wallet is an account for the beneficiary. Then the agency sets up the account so that only approved providers can be connected to that digital wallet, ensuring that the beneficiary can only pay providers for services already authorized by the agency. The digital wallet then automates all the payment, reconciliation, and compliance processes, dramatically reducing the amount of time it takes to ensure the funds get spent as intended and to issue payment to that provider. And as a result, many more providers can participate in the program. The agency can manage compliance in a much more efficient way, can reduce the costs of administration, and ultimately improve the outcomes of that program. And as a result, the beneficiaries are happy, more providers can participate, they get paid more quickly, they're happy. The policymakers are happy that the program is going as well as they had hoped. And ultimately, that agency that's been delegated responsibility can be satisfied that they've managed the compliance, that the funds are spent as intended in a highly efficient, cost-effective way that ultimately helps as many people as possible.
A real game changer for funding public programs, the digital wallet. We have to leave it there. Jamie Rosenberg, the CEO of ClassWallet, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate you coming on Axios.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.